Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Tonight's story begins on a cold Christmas Eve, the kind where the city feels quieter than usual, where lights glow a little softer and every window seems to promise warmth that not everyone gets to feel. For Emily, Christmas had always been complicated. She was 32, kind in a way that didn't demand attention, the type of woman who remembered birthdays, fed stray cats, and smiled even when life didn't give her many reasons to. This year, she told herself, would be different. This year, she had agreed to something she usually avoided: a blind date. Her best friend had insisted. You can't keep spending holidays alone, she'd said. Just try one coffee. If it's terrible, you leave. So Emily had said yes, even though her stomach twisted with nerves as she stood outside a cozy cafe decorated with wreaths and red ribbons. Snow dusted the sidewalk. Carols played faintly from inside. She smoothed her coat, checked her reflection in the glass, and took a breath. The man she was meeting was named Daniel, a widower, her friend had said. A father. He's good, she'd promised. Just a little guarded. Emily understood guarded. She'd learned to be that way herself. Inside, the cafe smelled like cinnamon and coffee beans. Emily spotted Daniel immediately. He sat at a corner table, tall, dark-haired, shoulders tense, eyes flicking up every time the door opened. Across from him were two empty chairs. That should have been her first clue. She walked over, smiling nervously. Hi Daniel, I'm Emily. He stood quickly, almost knocking his chair back. Yes, hi, Emily. Thanks for coming. His smile was polite, but it didn't reach his eyes. There was exhaustion there. And something else, fear, maybe. They ordered drinks and sat down. The conversation started stiff, the way first meetings often do. Weather, work, Christmas plans. Emily worked at a community library and volunteered at a children's shelter on weekends. Daniel worked in logistics, his voice flat when he talked about it, like it was just something to survive rather than enjoy. Then, about 10 minutes in, his phone buzzed. He glanced at it, jaw tightening. I'm sorry, he said, standing abruptly. I have to take this. Emily nodded, trying not to feel that familiar sinking feeling. She watched him step outside, his shoulders hunched as he spoke urgently into the phone. Through the glass, she saw his face change, stress melting into frustration, then into something like defeat. When he came back in, he didn't sit down. I don't think this was a good idea, he said, rubbing his forehead. I shouldn't have come. Emily blinked. Oh, okay. She tried to keep her voice steady. Is everything all right? He hesitated, then shook his head. I'm not ready. I thought I was, but I'm not. I'm sorry for wasting your time. And just like that, it was over. He grabbed his coat, murmured another apology, and walked out, leaving Emily alone at a table for three on Christmas Eve. She sat there for a moment, hands wrapped around her cooling cup, heart aching in that quiet, familiar way. It wasn't anger she felt. It was disappointment, not even in him but in herself. For hoping, Emily stood, ready to leave, when she noticed something under the table. Two small pairs of shoes, pink sneakers. She froze. Then she heard a giggle. Two little girls popped up from beneath the table, identical in every way, big brown eyes, dark curls tied with red bows, cheeks flushed with excitement. They couldn't have been more than 5 years old. Emily stared at them in shock. Oh, hi there. One of them tilted her head. You're Emily, right? Emily nodded slowly. Yes, I am. The other girl grinned. Daddy said you were coming. Emily's heart skipped. Daddy. Before she could process what was happening, Daniel rushed back in, panic written all over his face. Girls, I told you to stay outside with Mrs. Carter. The girls ignored him completely. They climbed onto the chairs like they owned the place and stared at Emily with open curiosity. I'm sorry, Daniel said quickly. They weren't supposed to be here. My neighbor was watching them, but he sighed, clearly overwhelmed. This is exactly why I can't do this. Emily looked at the girls. They were whispering to each other now, hands cupped over their mouths, eyes never leaving her. What are your names? Emily asked gently. I'm Lily, said the first. And I'm Lucy, said the second. Daniel winced. Girls, come on, we're leaving. But Lily shook her head firmly. No. Lucy nodded in agreement. We need to ask her something. Emily's breath caught. She felt like she was standing on the edge of something important without knowing why. Ask me what, she said softly. The girls exchanged a serious look, the kind only children can manage, then turned back to her together. Will you be our mom? The cafe seemed to go silent. Emily felt the words hit her chest like a physical force. Her eyes burned instantly. Daniel's face went pale. Girls, you can't say that. But Daddy, Lucy said, frowning, you're sad all the time. And Grandma says you need help, Lily added. Emily swallowed hard. She crouched down so she was eye level with them. That's a very big question, she said carefully. Why would you ask me that? Lily shrugged. You have nice eyes. Lucy nodded. And you smiled at us. Mommy used to smile like that. That was it. Emily felt tears spill over, warm and unstoppable. She turned her face away, embarrassed, but Daniel saw everything. He looked like he'd been punched in the chest. I'm so sorry, he said quietly. Their mother died 2 years ago. They don't remember her well. They want one. Emily stood slowly. Her heart was pounding. Daniel, she said, voice trembling. You didn't reject me because of me, did you? He shook his head immediately. No, I rejected you because of them, because I'm terrified. I don't know how to do this alone. And the idea of letting someone close, letting them get attached, what if it all falls apart? Emily took a deep breath. She looked at the girls, then back at him. May I sit back down? She asked. He nodded, stunned. They sat together, the girls between them, swinging their legs happily. Emily ordered hot chocolate for Lily and Lucy, and they drank it with whipped cream mustaches, laughing like the world was simple and safe. Emily listened as Daniel talked. Really talked about losing his wife suddenly to an illness, about how the girls cried for her at night, about how every Christmas since had felt like a performance he was failing. I don't need someone to save me, he said quietly. I just don't want to hurt anyone else. Emily nodded. I don't need to be saved either, but I know how to show up. I'm good at staying. The girls leaned against her without hesitation, one on each side. Lily rested her head on Emily's arm. Lucy traced circles on the table with her finger. Do you like Christmas? Lucy asked. Emily smiled sadly. I do, and I don't. It can be lonely. Lucy considered that. It's less lonely with more people. Emily laughed through tears. You're right. That night didn't end with promises. There was no sudden happy ever. Daniel walked Emily to her car, snow falling gently around them. I'm sorry again, he said. She smiled softly. Don't be. Tonight was unexpected, but I'm glad it happened. The girls hugged her legs like they'd known her forever. Bye, Emily. See you soon. She waved as they drove away, her heart aching in a new, hopeful way. Days passed. Then, weeks. Emily didn't expect to hear from them again. She told herself it had been a beautiful, strange Christmas moment and nothing more. Then her phone rang. It was Daniel. Would you like to have dinner with us? He asked. No pressure, just dinner. Emily said yes. Dinner turned into movie nights. Movie nights turned into park visits. Slowly, carefully, a rhythm formed. Emily learned that Lily hated peas but loved drawing. Lucy was quieter, but watched everything. Daniel learned that Emily had a steadiness he didn't know how to name, but desperately needed. One night, months later, as Emily tucked the girls into bed, Lily looked up at her and said, You didn't answer our question. Emily smiled. Which one? Lucy yawned. The mom one. Emily brushed their hair back gently. I can't replace your mom, she said softly, but if it's okay with you, I'd really like to be someone who loves you. The girls smiled sleepily. That's what we meant, Lily said. In the doorway, Daniel watched, tears in his eyes. Sometimes, love doesn't arrive the way we expect. Sometimes it comes after rejection, after fear, after broken plans. Sometimes it comes from two small voices asking the bravest question of all. And sometimes, on a Christmas blind date that almost never happened, a family begins.